So, from an entrepreneurial perspective, what key enablers like talent, funding, IP, design ecosystem, fabrication access are most critical for startups to succeed?
Thank you, ma'am, for this question. So, as Sir said, DLI is one of the integral parts of the Indian semiconductor mission, where the focus is to enable the startups, MSMEs, and domestic companies to produce chips in India to fill up this void that we have, because we end up importing a lot of chips for the electronic products that we are manufacturing in India. Now, unlike various other industries, semiconductor design industry has some very peculiar requirements for success factors, or you may want to call them. One, of course, is talent. Talent is one of the key critical components for success of this ecosystem. And India is fortunate and blessed in a sense that today we are home to a large number of highly skilled semiconductor designers who are working both as entrepreneurs and also as employees in various MNCs in the design houses. According to an estimate, 1 in 5 designers in semiconductor domain is an Indian, which is very heartening to note. The other success factors include access to the design tools and IPs. These are fairly expensive. As Amitesh ji said, that the access to the design tools for designing these chips, converting them into actual schematics, circuits, and then taping them out so that they can be fabricated in our fabs is done through these design tools, which come from various suppliers. And these are fairly expensive tools. So if we can democratize access to these tools and provide them to our startups, that would be a big help. Similarly, a major cost factor which goes into the design of any semiconductor chip is the cost of the IPs. So if we can have an arrangement where we could provide an IP pool or reusable IPs that can be used across the board by these startups, that would also be a big help to the startups and the designers who are doing these designs. One other critical factor is the access to the fabrication facilities, both in terms of scale up and also initially for the prototyping. Unfortunately, we are a little late in terms of setting up our own fabs, although there are now very strong initiatives to have our own fabs. But so far, the design fabrication happens outside the country. So access to those fabs is also one of the critical factors. A couple of other factors which are often missed out are one, access to capital, especially risk capital, because semiconductor design is a fairly expensive and a lot of risk is involved in terms of early failures. So access to a risk capital for these startups is another big critical factor. A fourth factor is availability and access to an anchor customer, because so we are not doing these designs just for our intellectual satisfaction. These designs eventually will end up into products and solutions. And therefore, if we have early access to these markets, it can help us to optimize those designs, and working with an anchor customer also helps us to customize the design as per the end needs. And then, of course, the policies of incentives and the government support goes a long way in supporting the startups and the ecosystem. So all in all, at least these factors have to be kept in mind if we really need to have a thriving semiconductor design ecosystem in this country.
जी सब देन इसी के आगे मैं अगर पूछूं, लाइक हमने अभी क्रिटिकल फैक्टर्स की बात करी, अगर हम करंट लैंडस्केप देखते हैं उसके अंदर आपको क्या लगता है, व्हाट आर आवर स्ट्रेंथ्स इन इंडिया?
Now, the biggest strength that we have, I would put two of our biggest strengths. One, of course, is a very strong talent capital. India, as I said, has a large talent pool of semiconductor design. Although we are good in design, we are still catching up on the fabrication and the ATMP and the OSAT parts. And for that, there has been very comprehensive review of the the syllabi across various institutes, taking into account the inputs coming from both academia and industry. The second most important factor which works in our favor is a very, very strong commitment from the government. The kind of incentives that are today being provided in terms of providing free access to the EDA tools is one of its kind in the world. Nobody in the world has made these kind of provisions to any other startups. So to me, at least, these are our most critical and most important factors that can go a long way in helping us to succeed.
Thank you, sir.
जी मैं इस पे थोड़ा सा ऐड करना चाहता हूँ.
Sure, sir.
जैसा कि विवेक खनिजा जी ने बताया कि ईडीए टूल्स का जो सपोर्ट है ये वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट हमारा है. हम लोगों ने डेटा को चेक किया है और ये पाया है कि जो इस तरह का गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन को ईडीए टूल सपोर्ट दिया गया है, ये वर्ल्ड के लार्जेस्ट सपोर्ट सिस्टम का एक एग्जांपल है, जिसमें 280 एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस को हम लोगों ने सपोर्ट दिया है. और आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि जनवरी 2025 से लेकर अगस्त तक 11.5 मिलियन आवर्स ईडीए टूल्स के यूसेज स्टूडेंट्स के द्वारा किए गए हैं.